James has to choose between The Redeemer, Nightmare, and The Curse 1 and 2. Okay. That's the one you're going with? Alright. We're watching Nightmare. Welcome to another 31 Days of Horror 2019 video. Leslie is here, but she just woke up, so she's not going to be on camera, but you will hear her. James has picked Nightmare. Now, you read it? What are your thoughts?
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord, eh?
It's gonna be so stupid.
Low budget 1981 horror film. I'm sold already. Mental hospitals. Oh, okay. The height of the slasher craze. All right, has a huge cult following. I like it. I'm expecting awesome, but not because it's low budget. So I'm expecting fun. Hopefully, good kills. I'm expecting something that I can like latch onto and say yes.
It's gonna be funny because it's gonna be stupid. So we're gonna be like, oh my god.
Maybe that's what it's gonna be. So bad it's good. Maybe
I didn't go that far.
All right, we're gonna check it out for real and let you know what we think. These two back here, I don't know what they're doing now. And we're back. Yes, Nightmare. Woo wee! That was something. Wow.
It's a very appropriate title.
It's a very appropriate title. 1981, roughly an hour and a half long. The film was written and directed by Romano Scavolini. And that's a name I've never heard before. I'm not gonna lie.
You will never hear again.
You know what? It's funny. I could go naming off names of people who were in this film, but I've looked them up and they've not done, many of them, not done anything since. Other ones, maybe one or two things. Nothing you've ever heard of. And oddly enough, this film is kind of one of those things that's like infamous. It's one of those infamous movies which a lot of people, you know, for a long period of time were tracking down because they wanted to see it. And that's not because creepy doll thingies are attacking me. It's not because of the director, because the director did do other stuff. Mostly a bunch of did obviously Italian stuff. White Dress for Mariale. He also did Savage Hunt and Dog Tags. A lot of, you know, low budget stuff that most people have never heard of. But in terms of the film, you got like Baird Stafford, Sharon Smith, C.J. Cook, Mick Cribbin, Danny Ronan, Bill Milling, Scott Pretorius, Christine Keep. None of these people have done anything. Like some of them, this is the only movie to their credit, which is odd. You would think with a movie like Nightmare behind you, you'd be able to score so many roles. But the only person who really had anything of note was a person who plays a father to the killer, and that's William Kirksey. And apparently he had an in with trauma because his, you know, maybe bit parts here and there, but he was in Squeeze Play, Waitress, Stuck on You, The First Turn On, When Nature Calls, and Monster in the Closet. So, like, he had, obviously was doing independent, and this is another, I guess, probably independent type film that he got involved in. But yeah, I was surprised to find that he'd done a whole bunch of these trauma films. But he was like, I think you only really saw him at the last scene in the movie. But outside of that, yeah, it's all about this film and the notoriety. First, let's put something to bed. A lot of people track this down because they think Tom Savini did the effects on this. He did not. He knew the person who did the effects on it, and as far as I think he recalls, he was around when they were making the movie, but he didn't actually touch anything. So that rumor that Tom Savini did the effects on this is not entirely true, but that's not to say it doesn't look like Tom Savini did the effects. There, Gorehounds, yeah, this is right up your alley, which is what brings the other piece of notoriety to this film, is because I believe it was the director, I think it was in Britain. He would not cut the film. He would not cut portions out of it. And therefore he, I don't know if he was arrested or if he was threatened with being arrested. Yeah, I think he faced prison. I think they threatened him with prison time if he wouldn't cut the movie, because of the amount of gore and stuff that was in it, right? So this ended up on the video nasties list, and people in UK couldn't even see it, period, unless they were getting a bootleg somehow. So this is one of those films that, because of these notorieties and stuff like that, it is tracked down almost on regular. And so, yeah, when Code Red put it out on Blu-ray, 35th anniversary edition, right? Like, it gets a crazy anniversary type release here. There's a reason for it, and that's kind of it. Because the film itself isn't that great. Don't get me wrong. It does definitely pull from slasher films like Halloween. There is definite influences there. There's influences from films from the 70s and stuff. The story is essentially... You know what? I'm gonna say spoilers here because this film wasn't very well told. The beginning of the film is a little sloppy, and then it comes with your sort of standard narrative playing out, the main characters in the film and people getting killed, and then it tacks on the explanation at the end. But essentially, a young kid who was played by... I'm actually going to give him credit on this one. Played by Scott Pretorius. Walks in on his father and either his mom or a prostitute.
Yeah, I don't think that was his mom.
Or... It's George's mother is the credit.
Seriously?
Yeah. So it's supposed to be his mom, though I've heard that it's like a prostitute or somebody his father knew and he was having an affair with his mom. But according to IMDb, it's his mom. So his mom and dad are having some kinky S&M sex, and he comes home from school and sees this. Though they're not really having sex at this point, she's just kind of tied him up and is on top of him and slapping him around a little bit to the point where he's got a bloody nose. But apparently, this little boy, how old would you say he was? 10? 10-ish? Around the age of 10. Maybe younger, but I don't think he'd be older. Wasn't too happy. And you get to see the entire event unfold at the end of the film, where he goes out and grabs an axe and he goes to town on his mom and dad for apparently having sex. No real explanation out. He's got a bow tie. He seems like a really well-mannered kid otherwise. He's all happy, and he gets home and boom, he sees sex, and apparently that to the point where he goes to Axetown on his parents. Now, it's sort of hinted to at the beginning of the film that, you know, there was a traumatic type thing that happens to this boy. Nothing's really explained as to who these people really are, kind of. It's flashbacks and such. Because he's in a mental institution and he's having nightmares about this event that took place. And yeah, eventually he gets out of the mental institution. And then you get introduced to the family, and it's essentially, I guess it's a woman who's divorced or separated, with 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy, who's essentially having relations with a guy who lives on a boat, and she has a babysitter over a lot. These are essentially the characters in the film, outside of the killer, who are in it constantly. Now, I don't know. It's it starts getting a little weird. People, I don't know. She decides to sell her house. I don't know if it's because of weird stuff. People are getting killed, but they aren't getting killed. And there's the little boy is big on playing pranks, and you know, making scary things and scaring people. So there's a lot of you know, Boy Who Cried Wolf stuff going on. But really, this movie comes down to gore, because storytelling wise, it's not that great. Acting wise, it's iffy. Sound wise, it's terrible because it's low budget. Picture wise, it's not bad. I'll give them credit. They should have shot okay. But yeah, it's all about the gore. It's all about the kills, because it has some crazy ones. And if you're looking for nudity, this film delivers. I can see why James picked it, man. He was like, yeah, I've heard there's some crazy nudity in this one, and I want to watch that. Because yeah, we were surprised to see full frontal going on in this film. Yeah, you know, when it comes to slashers, okay, you expect some TNA maybe, you know, shower. There was a lot of shower scenes, but the shower scenes weren't really gratuitous. But yeah, no. There's a whole going down to like New York strip club scene where there's just lots of nudity going on. And yeah, I was not expecting that. I mean, it was clearly thrown in there to have the nudity in the film just to sell it, because it wasn't they didn't need to have that whole scene. Didn't have to be in the film at all. But, you know, obviously sex sells, right? Like that's the moniker right there. But the sex that was in this film was not needed, but sex sells, so put it in. Yeah. So really, that's the only 2 good things going with this film are, you know, nudity and gore. If those are your things, nightmare. There you go. You don't even have to pay attention to the story. It just comes on, and eventually you go, oh, there's some nudity. Oh, there's some blood. Yay! Because, yeah, I got kind of lost watching it. I'm not going to lie. I would have to watch it again to see what was really going on in some of these shots. Like, some of them are supposed to be flashbacks. Some of them, I don't even know what they were. I'm still trying to figure out the killer aspect. Huh?
It was PC to me.
PC?
Yeah.
Oh, like peace meal type thing? Yeah. It was, yeah. It didn't flow. It didn't flow well. You know, like how in Halloween, right, you introduce the kill right at the beginning to show that Michael Myers is a deranged lunatic and that he's in an insane asylum. That's kind of, you know, good storytelling. This one starts off with insane asylum and then shows the kill at the end of the movie that puts him in the insane asylum, and then there's killing, and then I'm not even sure that the person in the insane asylum was the person who was doing the killing at the end, because for some reason they had him in a mask. The entire movie he's not in a mask, but then he's in a mask. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there's literally, it's blurted out one sentence from the mom at the end of the
I was
film
like, what?
that makes me either say that the person who was at the end was not the person who we've seen throughout the entire film, or if it was, that person has never seen their kids before. Or at least not their son. Because their son saw this person throughout the entire film and kept saying, this is the guy who keeps following me around. He keeps stalking me, you know? And it's like, okay. See, this is the one point where I'm not giving you a spoiler, because maybe I should, so that when you're watching it, maybe you can clue into it. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have any thoughts to add to this one?
Well, my prediction was right. I didn't like it. It was stupid.
She tuned out, like...
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry if you...
She got up to, like, the nudity, that's almost kind of where she tuned out.
If I want to look at lady parts, I can go look at myself. Okay? I don't need to see that on a video. Okay? Like... And I especially don't need to see the certain scene in there. Why do I want to watch that? I don't want to watch that, okay? No. So...
Though she did get to see an actual peep show. She had never seen one of these things before,
that was
apparently.
Amusing.
She's like, wait, that actually exists? And I was like, well, yeah.
Yeah, that was funny. Now, I don't know what their budget was, so... when they were like people getting killed and stuff, that was okay.
Yeah, you know, like when you think about when it was,
yeah,
that was some good, like, normally if it's low budget, you will see, you know, here comes the axe or this knife or the one coming towards them, and then you sort of cut, and then it's sort of already embedded in their skull or in their neck or in their chest or something, and then maybe blood will spurt out if you have enough money for that. But normally that's it, right? And then you'll cut to a scene where they put blood red all over their clothes. And that's kind of it. This one went to the trouble of actually making casts and having people's fake body parts get impaled or chopped or whatever, removed, and blood, and it was, oh yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, Gorehounds, this is good. Of course, it's still super red paint blood,
yeah.
but that's okay. I don't have a problem with that, because there was tons of it. It was like, open up the fire hydrant, let the blood go. 'Cause honestly, it's worth it for the end scene, the climax of the film. You know, you're getting multiple kills, and they're good. It's so good. Yeah. Do you even want to give it a rating?
2.
2? I'm guessing you're not recommending it, though.
If you like porn.
If you like porn, she says, you'll be terribly disappointed with Nightmare, let me tell you. You're like, I got like 3 shots of nudity in this film. Like, somebody said it was porn. But yeah, I'm going to say the film in terms of quality is probably about a 2, but I'm going to give it a 2.5. I'm bumping it up that half mark for the gore. The gore is definitely a highlight to me. Highlight to this. Like, I would watch it again just because of the gore.
I will not watch it again.
She will not watch it again. She didn't really watch it the first time, so...
Sorry, laundry is a priority.
But yeah, recommend. You know what? Gorehounds, those people who are into, you know, slashers, and not just your Hollywood slashers, but you like to run the gamut. This is right up your alley. This is kind of stuff you eat up. Again, keep in mind that the film structure and the storytelling is a little not quite up to snuff. But once you get past that, just let her go. Enjoy what's there. Have some fun with it. And yeah, I mean, I think you can come out enjoying Nightmare. The dream you can't escape alive. Oddly enough, it doesn't really... I don't even think Nightmare is the right title for this film.
No, because it's not like he's having some weird recurring nightmare. It's like he's
only at the beginning. Like the first 10 minutes of the movie, there's some recurring nightmare type stuff going on. But then it's over, and then you watch the rest of the movie. I don't know. But, yeah. It is what it is.
It was not the worst thing we've seen.
No.
To me,
No,
so.
definitely not. Definitely not. Yeah. I don't know. Comment down below. I'm sure many of you out there have seen Nightmare. Let me know your thoughts. Are you with me in terms of the fact that A+ on gore, you know, maybe a C in terms of structure and storytelling? But yeah, love to hear from you. More 31 Days of Horror to come. Yeah.
I don't know that James gets to pick the next one.
James may not get to pick the next one. We're just saying. Yeah. Though, Leslie does pick they were picked from Leslie's picks.
Yes.
So, it's not all James's fault. I'm just saying. But, yeah. Keep watching. Till next video, take care. Have a good one.